When we hear other people's stories, we start to think about the world in new and different ways. Although we might walk through the world wearing different shoes, the things that we experience and the core of who we are, that's what resonates. At Barefaced Stories, you see real people jump up on stage armed only with a true life tale. They are raw, they're honest, they're vulnerable, they wear their bloody beating hearts on their sleeves, and they are some of the bravest people I know. It's tough getting up on stage. I mean, being on stage, that space isn't normally the place where you would share that part of yourself. You can see their vulnerability, you can hear their nerves, but they push through because there's always a connection. And there's times where you're sitting in the audience where you can almost hear a pin drop. You're hanging on to this stranger's every word. So we go in one night from stories like that where people are incredibly moved to other stories where you're just constantly riding the waves of laughter that the person in front of you is taking you on this journey of something that's the most embarrassing or the most cringeworthy thing that they've been through. It's amazing that we've created this space where people feel like they can share some of their deepest and darkest secrets, the things that have really changed them. So one night at Barefaced is a complete roller coaster, and it's always a night that you will never ever see again. We started Barefaced Stories in 2010, my best mate Kerry and I, and it really began out of a want for an opportunity to do this type of storytelling, a modern storytelling that really spoke to who we were, like a modern type of storytelling that was fresh and authentic and really spoke to who we were right now. A place where, you know, we could offer a platform to people who wouldn't normally be able to step on a stage and share a part of themselves. The ability to tell stories has crept into everything. It's become a major part of how corporations market themselves, but you look at who's usually in the limelight, who's controlling the narrative, and it's the usual suspects delivering something written by a team, edited by a committee of experts. We wanted to create a place for people who aren't invited onto the main stage. People like you and me who are pretty average. It's about finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. And after a lot of beers at the pub and a few sizzles of snags outside a hardware store, we raised up enough money to really begin Barefaced Stories. So we had pretty humble beginnings. My mum helping out with sausage sizzles. Yeah. Since 2010, we have grown massively. I would say now that we are Australia's leading regular storytelling night. Our shows are monthly at the Bird, and then we have special events like our music edition at the end of the year. We've also been invited to festivals, and we tour regionally around WA. I love heading out to different communities because it's the best way that you get to experience the place, is hanging out with the people that live there and getting them to open up and share their stories, because you get to find out all of the town secrets. We've got a podcast because we like to get the voices that are heard at Barefaced Stories out into the world and showcase the chaotic, the brilliant, the weird people that we have here in Australia. With an audience and a community as keen to participate as to watch, we run regular workshops where we teach people how to mind their lives to the stories that might be interesting for others to hear. We have people that do our workshops and they'll share a story that they have never even shared with their friends. And then a couple of weeks later, you see them get up on stage and share this story. And friends that have known them for years and years and years will come up and go, I didn't know that about you. Because I think most of the time we don't create the space to share those types of stories. When you think about it, stories are who we are, and they're also what we leave behind. Take that lens off. Anyway, enough of my stories. Let's get yours.